The cab is in motion. This is Brian the Cab Driver on New Bedford's News Talk Station, 1420 WBSM.
With the support of the mayor and the school committee, we need to really look at things very differently there. And I've had discussions with the commissioner's office, and he is giving us the opportunity to redo our turnaround plan.
So that is Superintendent Pia Durkin giving you what she said. She said it on Phil's program this morning. But exactly what's going to happen to the Haymack? Why didn't change come about before? If I were to ask her point blank, did you like the turnaround plan for the Haymack? I would tend to believe the answer would be no. But she went along with the plan anyway. And now, after 2 or 3 years of going forward with a particular plan, guess what? Now you got to put another plan together. How much are folks going to take here? At what particular time do you say enough is enough with all the different plans that are out there? 508-996-0500. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. First of all, Brian, on the education stuff, let me personally thank you for explaining and playing the clips back from Dr. Durkin. Second, I think that the principals and the teacher at Pulaski and Taylor should be commended for their hard work and turning those schools into what we in New Bedford needs them to be. And you were right about how you interpreted what Dr. Durkin said about the high school. You were also right in terms of your analysis of where schools are located. You could have added Gomes to Haymack and Parker. If you see, none of those schools have turned around. Is it the location? Is it the students? Is it the parents? Is it the plan that's put in place? In my position, it's all of the above. Does Dr. Durkin have something to be proud of at Pulaski and Taylor and the school committee? Yes, they do. One would be an idiot to say improvement is not an improvement, and when you go from if you go from a level 2 to a level 1, that is improvement. But
how does it happen? How do you go from a level 2 to a level 1? How do you go from a level 3 to a level 1, as we saw happen? Did other schools not perform as well in order to help up you to level 1 or level 2? Certainly we can say that with the percentiles, can't we?
Absolutely, and your analysis were right. I would, and if you notice something, Brian, before I hang up, is that these people do not come on your show. They pick where they're going to go because they know that they're going to be applauded and not ask a hard question. And when it comes to education, if we're not asking the hard questions and the right questions like you are asking, we're never going to get an answer. Have a good one, Brian.
I appreciate the comment. Check is in the mail. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I am. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Just a couple of quick points. The Hayden McFadden School, when it was declared underperforming, 2012, it was in the first percentile, meaning the lowest percentile.
So the fifth? No, you're correct. Yeah, I'm sorry. You said percentile. I'm thinking level. Go ahead.
Correct. So 4 years later, yes, plan might have been drawn up a few years ago. 4 years later, it is still in the 1 percentile, meaning it has not grown at all. Mm-hmm. So one can look at that plan and say, well, the plan didn't work. Let's look at a couple of others.
Okay.
If we look at Parker School, which was a level 4 back in 2012, has since become a level 5. It was in the 10th percentile in 2012. It is now, after Dr. Durkin's plan, the only receiver who also happens to be the superintendent. It is now in the 8th percentile. It has dropped from 2012 to 2015. In reading the article this morning, numerous schools have improved in percentile. That's when you compare 2014 to 15. If you look at 2015 and compare it to 2012, there are 12 schools that actually have a much lower percentile in 2015 compared to 2012.
So when you pick hold on a second. Why did you pick 2012?
Free Dr. Durkin.
Okay.
So we can talk about how New Bedford is on the trajectory to improvement. Let's look at 2012. Let's look at now. 12 schools have a lower percentile than they did free Dr. Durkin.
So they had no other place to go but up.
But improved. They've actually gone down.
I understand what you're saying. And it's interesting to note here, I said it earlier, the school districts, and New Bedford would fall into this category, that took park assessments this year were held harmless from the Department of Education, from basically those schools whose percentiles dropped would not be considered for being moved down by accountability levels.
That is correct. The other footnote that I think one might want to ask a particular question is some of those schools that actually improved from whether it was last year, 2014 to 15, or 2012 to 15, those schools that actually improved, Brooks being one of them, Keith Middle School being another one, Roosevelt Middle School being another one. Those three principals are not there as of this year. So 3 schools that improved, those principals did not get renewed. Isn't that interesting?
Very. Thank you for your call and your comments. I really do appreciate it. 508-996-0500 to get on Brian's beat today. And we continue with Dr. Durkin.
We have new leadership. Linda Zert has reformed what that schedule looks like, but more importantly, how her staff can be mobilized to do the work that's so very much needed, and the way they're using their time and looking at our data. I was there yesterday, and that staff is more than energized to be able to take this on. They're in their second year of turnaround.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Brian the Cab Driver. Weekdays 10 to noon. New Bedford's News Talk Station. 1420 WBSM.